There are so many ins and outs and considerations when it comes to purchasing a home, whether it's your first home, second home, fifth home, or investment property, and you've been doing this forever. There are things that a real estate agent can guide you through that you may not consider about the process. Listen in as our agents share some tips, tricks, and things to know when you are considering buying a home here in Garrett County or anywhere in the country. Don't forget to like this video, comment below, share your thoughts, and subscribe for more.
When you're preparing a contract, some things you need to think about are the time to get from contract to closing. So as a buyer, if you are getting a loan, you probably are going to need 30 to 45 days, and that is a discussion you would need to have with your loan officer. If it is not contingent on financing and it's a cash transaction, we could close in as little as 2 to 3 weeks once the title company has a chance to do the title search.
So choosing a closing date, you really have to weigh in a few factors. Is this going to be a primary residence? If this is a primary residence, obviously you have to factor in the whole moving process. Another thing to think of, obviously with the lending, you want to coordinate with your lender and make sure that the time frame is right for them as well. What we like to do here at the lake, and this is more for a second home, is we love to do closings on Fridays. Take the day off, come up, walk through the home, do your closing, and enjoy your new lake home for the weekend.
Let's briefly talk about an earnest money deposit, or EMD as it's known here in the business. An earnest money deposit is what you're gonna put down when you are writing a contract to purchase a new home. So how much should your earnest money deposit be? Typically, we like to say around 1% of the purchase price. So say you're purchasing a $500,000 house, your earnest money deposit should be somewhere in the $5,000 range. Your earnest money deposit will typically be due in anywhere from 3 to 5 days after your contract is accepted, and it can be paid most likely in the form of check or wire.
It shows the seller that you're serious when you submit your offer, putting money down that could be lost if the deal falls through for anything other than specified contingencies in the contract.
Let's talk about home inspections for a minute. Very important piece of the puzzle, but what should you do? How should you line that up? You have a couple choices when writing your contract. You can do a regular home inspection addendum where you can go through a whole list of everything you want to get checked out about the home, and then you'll have the right to go back and ask for repairs for whatever is needed from the results of the home inspection. And then there is an as-is inspection, or as-is with the right to terminate, where basically you'll hire your home inspector, they'll come inspect the property, whatever inspections you want to have done, you'll get your report, and then you can decide from there whether or not you want to move forward with the purchase of the property based on the results of the home inspection. So basically it's a yes or no to the seller after your home inspection with an as-is with the right to terminate.
Inspections, in my opinion, are extremely important. I'm somewhat dismayed as over the last 2 or 3 years we've had so many homes here sell without having inspections. I think when you're spending 6 to 7 figures, it's time that you really need to know more about what you're buying. I've always tended to like the traditional inspection addendum, and there's so many different things you can do. We always recommend radon, mold, structural mechanical. If you own a well and septic, a well inspection, which normally is just bacteria, and a septic inspection to see that it's in good condition at the time you're buying it. Another good thing about that inspection addendum is, and this is for the buyer, I mean it's totally a protection for the buyer. There's a clause at the end of the inspection addendum that basically says, upon receipt of the inspection report, the buyer has the unilateral right to call the contract null and void for no set reason other than dissatisfaction with the inspection report. You're not required to give the inspection report to the seller. Should you ask for repairs, then you would have to give a copy of the whole contract to the seller. Lately, we've been seeing more of the as is addendum with right to terminate. To me, basically, when you do that, you're just asking for permission to inspections, for inspections. It doesn't determine which ones you do. You can do any you want. But basically what that tells the seller to me is you're not going to nickel and dime him. You're either going to look at the inspection and you're going to go with it, or you're going to walk away unless maybe there's something major, a bad foundation, termites have eaten the house up, you know, that kind of thing. So I like that. I like that when you're in a competitive environment. Here again, I can never recommend that you not have an inspection done. I just think that is bad business for me, and I think it's bad business for the buyer.
Buyer's closing costs consist of lender's fees, transfer taxes to the state and county, appraisal fee, home inspection fee, HOA fees, deed stamps, you have your title search, taxes, insurance will also be collected, but the largest portion of your closing costs will be your down payment if you are financing.
One thing sellers need to keep in mind is the closing costs. It's more than just the commission that you pay. You will have half of the state transfer taxes, you'll have half of the county transfer taxes, and you'll have half of the county stamps, transfer stamps. You're also going to have an attorney's fee. You'll have a fee for drawing up a deed. All in all, you can expect to have about 8% of your sale price in closing cost.